It's the bald and the beautiful. Everything from Nashville to Hollywood on My Country 96.1.
All right, we get going. No Cande today. Carrie Underwood, our one and only country story this morning before we get to some Super Bowl stuff. She surprised some 3rd and 4th graders at a school in Nashville. They were putting on a musical about the Grand Ole Opry. I guess somebody knew her, got in touch with her. Somehow there was some connection. Got her to the school. She watched it. She posed for pictures, signed autographs. Very, very cool. Nice to do that, Carrie. Let's get to the big game yesterday. Even though you may know the results, couple things. The Super Bowl, of course, the Rams last-minute touchdown beats the Bengals 23-20. I know you didn't ask for it, but I'll give you my opinion on what I think the Rams were deserving of the win. There was a really bad blown call by the referees where Joe Burrow threw a touchdown to T. Higgins, and he basically almost ripped the helmet off of Jalen Ramsey on his way to the end zone, which should never have been a touchdown. And Odell Beckham was on fire, then went down with an injury, and the Rams defense took over the second half. Absolutely took over against Joe Burrow, and you know what? They will be back. The Bengals should have a number of great years in front of them. The Rams definitely overcame a bunch of stuff last night to pull out the victory. Mickey Guyton, what an incredible anthem. We knew she had a great voice. I mean, I remember, was it 8-9 years ago? She got a standing ovation at the Patchogue Theater. I've got to find a picture of that because it was an amazing moment, and she crushed the national anthem yesterday. The halftime show was fantastic, I thought. If you're a fan of that genre of music, it was just really well conceived with the, kind of the outline of the city with all the lights on the floor and everything. Even it was like a blanket. It was like a mat, but it looked like a big overhead shot of L.A. and Compton and just the set and everything with all the buildings. And there was a special guest, 50 Cent, who was not announced as being on the show, which was cool. Anderson .Paak played drums when Eminem came out, and it was great. Mary J was fantastic. Dr. Dre, of course. Snoop stole the show as always. He was awesome. Kendrick Lamar, pretty good halftime show. The Rock prior to the game. With the microphone. You know, it's funny. I was talking to my buddy Josh earlier in the day, and we were actually discussing the topic of making certain sports more interesting with some trash talking and like old school wrestling interviews, the way they used to do those interviews in wrestling and call each other out. We were having this conversation, not knowing what The Rock was going to do just hours later. That's what we were discussing. It was kind of cool. He's out there pumping up the teams, saying some good things about each team, getting the crowd fired up. Very wrestling-like, and who's better to do it than The Rock, who was always amazing with the microphone in the ring. And Billie Jean King with the coin toss. Real nice. Good to see her out there. A good flip, too, by the way. She took her time and did a good job. We'll have some more Super Bowl stuff coming up. We've already discussed a bunch as well, but some more here on the way. Sad news over the weekend. Ivan Reitman, 75 years old, the writer, director, producer, movie maker, Ghostbusters, Stripes, Twins, Old School, Animal House, Meatballs. Goes on and on. Really incredible. 75, passed away on Saturday. Eli Manning, speaking of more game news, he was in Vegas. He took part in a promotion for a company where he took over a bartender's shift so she could go enjoy the game. He said he was nervous about bartending. He's not really a great bartender, and pretty cool stuff. Adrian Peterson, the great running back who one day should get into the Football Hall of Fame, unless his off-field stuff keeps him out, but I can't imagine. One of the best running backs of all time. He was arrested at LAX. The plane had just left the gate. It had to turn around, come back, and he had a domestic incident on the plane with his wife. He was taken off and put in jail for a night or two. I believe he's out. And finally, Kevin Smith, the movie maker, was in an interview, and he was talking about Spiderman and how the Oscars now have 10 slots for Best Picture, and he was very upset that the new Spiderman, which is one of the biggest movies of all time, was ignored and didn't get one of the 10 slots. And he says, you wonder why people don't watch the Oscars. You got to get some young eyeballs on the TV. And I've been saying this for years. At some point, the Oscars will go away. May not be next year, may not be 5 years, maybe 10 years, maybe 20 years. At some point, nobody's going to care. The young folks are not going to care about turning on the TV and watching people in fancy gowns and tuxedos, compliment each other and about movies nobody's ever seen. So, interesting interview from Kevin Smith. And just to prove my point, Power of the Dog, 12 nominations. I watched it. It was on Netflix. Some good acting, but a snooze fest. I just really. Kevin Smith, you're on point. I agree with you. TV tonight, ABC, The Bachelor, CBS, Price is Right, and Celebrity Big Brother. There's your Bald and the Beautiful, everything from Nashville to Hollywood. My Country, 96.1.
Phathead and Cande in the morning, weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on My Country 96.1.